So before starting the demo, we need to set up nodes. So we'll be working with 3 nodes. This will be our first node. The reward for mining block from this node will go to miner 1. We need to define the port on which this node should be running. For that, at the bottom I will include this line, app.run port number 5000. Now we need to set up 2 other nodes. I will create a new Python file, name it as node 5001. I'll just copy the whole code and paste here. Then I need to change the receiver. Let's make it miner 2 and port number 5001. And I will rename this first file as node5000.py. So we have 2 nodes ready. Similarly, for third node, I will make a new Python file, node5002, and copy whole code, paste here. Replace receiver to miner 3 and port number 5002. So we have 3 nodes ready, node 5000 with miner 1 as a receiver at port 5000, node 5001 with miner 2 as a receiver at port 5001, and finally node 5002 with miner 3 as a receiver at port 5002. Alright, so now we can move to the demo. Okay, so let's run our nodes first. We will be using 3 terminals for 3 nodes like they are running on separate computer. Simply type python node5000.py. So our first node is running. Similarly, on another terminal, python node5001.py. Alright, our second node is also running. And finally, on another terminal, python node5002.py. Okay, so all the 3 nodes are running on the respective ports that we have defined. Now let's go to the Thunder client and make request. First, I will make 3 collections so that it would be easy for me to make request. I will make node 5000, node 5001, and node 5002. Now first thing we will do is get chain from all these nodes. For that we need to make get request. Okay, so inside node 5000 collection I will create a new request and name it get chain. You know the URL for getting chain, yeah? 127.0.0.1/get_chain. Now if I click on send, I get the whole chain, but it has only one block, which is changes block, which is all good. Similarly, I will do the same from node 5001 and 5002. I will create new request, name it getChain. And now here for node 5001, the URL will be slightly different because the node 5001 is running on port 5001. So we need to replace 5000 with 5001. And click on send. Alright, we got the chain with changes block. Let's do the same with node 5002. Create new request, name it getChain. And in URL replace with port 5002 and click on send. So everything is okay. From all 3 nodes we got the changes block. But if you see the timestamp, it is different on all 3 nodes. It is because these nodes are not connected yet. So let's connect them. For connect node we need to make post request. So let's create a new request on node 5000, name it connect node. Then as I have said, this will be post. Since we are making post request, we need to send something. For that we will go to the body and type this. Since we are connecting node 5000 and 5002, we need to add these 2 over here. And another thing, on header we have to add a header. In header content type and value application JSON. Now we are ready to make post request. Click on send. Alright, so we got the response with message. All the nodes are now connected. The holy moly blockchain now contains the following node. And on total nodes we have other 2 nodes. Now we will do the same for other 2 nodes. You can create new request for better structure. For now I will just modify this one. For node 5000, port is 5001. Then on body we have to give node 5000 and 5002. Alright, click on send. Here we got a similar message as before. Again for node 5002 we will have port 5002, and on body we need node 5000 and 5001. Click on send. So here we go, we have connected all 3 nodes with one another. Now what we will do next is we will check consensus. What if one chain is longer than other? How do the longest chain replace the shorter one? For that, first I will mine a block from node 5000. I will create a new request, name it mine block. And if you see here, we have route/mine_block. and it is a get method, so the URL will be this. When I click on send, I will mine a new block. It says congratulations, you just mined a block. You can see other information tools. There is transaction amount 1, receiver miner 1, and sender is this node 5000, and that is the address of the node 5000. Now if I get the chain, we must have this block added to the chain. Yes, we have this block added to the chain. But if we check get chain from other node, they won't have this block. Let's see. So how the consensus come into play here? We have defined replace chain method, which will replace the chain with longest one if needed. So we're gonna make that request. So if you see here, replace chain has this route and method is get. Let's create a new request, name it replace chain. URL will be this one. Get method, okay. Now click on send. Now here, since we make this request from node 5000, which has already the longest chain, we got the message, all good, the chain is the largest one. Now if we do the same from other two nodes, for node 5001, let's make it 5001 and click on send. So here we got a different message. The nodes are different chains, so the chain was replaced by the longest one. This is what we want. Let's do the same with node 5002. Let's make it 5002 and click on send. Alright, we got the message, the nodes had different chains, so the chain was replaced by the longest one. Now let's check the chain from all three nodes. You can see now all three nodes have the same chain, and this is how the consensus work. The longest chain replaced the shorter one. Alright, now let's move to the next part. We will check regarding the transaction. First we will add transaction. So if you see here, the route is this and the method is post. So let's make a new request, name it add transaction, and method is post. Since the method is post, we need to add header, content type, application JSON. Now on body, we need to write the transaction. The format for transaction will be like this. It will have sender, receiver, and amount. The URL will be this one. So let sender be John, receiver be Harry, and amount 100 holy moly coin. Now we are ready to make post request. Click on send. Okay, so we got the response with message. The transaction will be added to block 3. Since we have two blocks already, one Genesis block and another we mined earlier, the transaction will be added to block 3. But not yet, we have to mine it first. We can also add more number of transactions in a block. So let's add another transaction, sender set, receiver Cody, and amount 200 holy moly coin. Click on send. So this transaction will also be added to block 3, as there are only 2 blocks in the chain and block 3 is yet to come. So let's mine the block. For mining block, if you see here, route is this and method is get. So I will create a new request, name it mine block, and the URL will be this, our method get okay, and click on send. Okay, we get the message, congratulations, you just mined a block. And if you see the transactions, there are 3 transactions. 2 we just added and 1 by default as a mining reward to the miner. You can do like this, add transactions and then mine them from any nodes. And you know what to do next. We need the consensus to replace the chain with the longest one. So let's do that. For node 5000 we get the message, all good, the chain is the largest one. For node 5001 and 5002 we will get the message, the node had different chains, so the chain was replaced by the longest one. Okay, so we have checked our blockchain for transactions too. Everything is working. Here we go, we have created a blockchain, add the transactions, mine the block. We have decentralized our blockchain with 3 nodes and apply the consensus. And with this we have completed section 2 of our Learn Blockchain practical course. I hope you have learned a lot of things practically. Now we can continue to section 3, creating a smart contract.